What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorldPodcast, and today we're going to be wrapping up Week 3 of Monday Night Football NFL 2020, talking about the Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Like, listen, I keep trying to tell everybody, to me, a lot of these sports, the NBA, the NFL, maybe hockey, is certain players that you can always say is the MVP. The baseball, you can just look at a player and just know. Like, for me, it's LeBron James. Like, you give it to Giannis and all that good stuff, but everybody knows LeBron James is the MVP. Right now, they just gave it to Lamar Jackson. He was exciting. Remember, last season, Patrick Mahomes was hurt throughout that year, still came back and still had a formidable year, was down in the Super Bowl, came back and beat the 49ers. We all know that Garoppolo sucks, but that's not what this is about. This is about the fact that this young man is, he has the potential to go down as the greatest quarterback in NFL history, and he's a lot more exciting to watch. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're going to talk about Patrick Mahomes, his night last night, 31 of 42, 385 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. All right? You know what makes this team more dangerous, though? Edwards-Helaire. They got a run game, dude. Like, that's the worst thing that you can do. When I saw that they picked him, the 32nd pick, I was like, listen, this team is going to be dangerous, because if you ever watch Edwards-Helaire, pretty much what happened was I had a sports show that was, live streamed on Twitch, where Twitch offered me the opportunity to go ahead and jumpstart one of their newer channels. And we spoke about this guy coming out the draft, and you just looking at him in college and just knowing, if he's able to put on that, put that step, put that foot in the ground and start doing things like that, he's going to be a problem. And to go to this team is outrageous, because now what are you going to cover? You know what I'm saying? Even with, look, Tyreek Hill had a mediocre night. 5 receptions, 6 targets, 77 yards, 1 touchdown. McCole Hardman, 81 yards. He had 4 receptions, 6 targets, 1 touchdown. Travis Kelce, no touchdowns, 6 receptions, 7 targets, 87 yards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the passing game, 6 targets, 5 catches, 70 yards. This is, bro, what do you want a defense to do? Before we even get to Lamar Jackson, you're not doing anything with this. If this team stays healthy and plays defense throughout the game the way that they did, because remember, it ended off with, the Ravens scoring late in the second half, whatever, but they only had a special teams touchdown, up until like the third quarter. So what I'm saying is their defense, the Chiefs' defense, we never really knew them for defense. Now they're playing defense, and their offense hasn't taken a step back. What are you going to do with this team? Now, let's talk about is Patrick Mahomes really that special? I remember the first time that they put him in the game, bro, and I saw him throw the ball. I'm like, look, this kid is throwing rockets. And he has Andy Reid. Look, all he wants to do is pass the ball. This is going to be a dangerous team. You guys can go back to those podcasts when I first saw him throw the ball, because if you're blessed to be able to have vision and you watch Patrick Mahomes play, you cannot say that this young man isn't special. You can hate as much as you want. You could be a Skip Bayless versus LeBron James. You can do whatever you want, but you can't deny the fact that this man is gifted at the quarterback position. And then when you give him a track team with that arm strength and the ability to move out, he got a couple first downs last night, rushed for a TD. When you give him those abilities too, it's like, come on, bro, this ain't even fair. Like, how you giving him all this, bro? Like, you can't have everything. At least that's what they tell us. But Patrick Mahomes is showing us something different, because he has a little bit of everything, and it looks like he's going to take this league by storm. So before we get to, Lamar Jackson's night, I'm not knocking, the fact that Lamar is a very, very good athlete and he's a great quarterback. And well, not great. He's good right now. He got an MVP. He's good right now. He still has a lot of growing to do. He overthrew a lot of throws, because he tends to throw bullet passes when he should loft it. You even heard the announcers talk about putting some air under the ball. He has some things that he has to get out. He has to get some kinks out. But he's very, very dangerous in his own right. The fact of the matter is, though, Patrick Mahomes can be an MVP any season. We also got to put Russell Wilson in there, because he's playing out of his mind as well. But I'm just talking about the fact that I think right now Kansas City has a much better overall team than the Seahawks. Like, overall, I believe that they would beat any team right now. And if we played the Super Bowl next week, the Kansas City Chiefs would repeat at this point. That's my opinion. Now we jump over to Lamar Jackson. 15 of 28, 97 yards, 1 TD. Now, his tight end Andrews did drop a touchdown in the end zone, which was very, very disappointing, because one of the major things about, the tight end position, you got to come down with the ball, dude. Especially when your team is struggling to score. Like, they had opportunities And, I just think that defensively, they were played well. The Kansas City Chiefs played them. They took away a lot of the strengths in the first half. Lamar Jackson broke loose a little something in the second half, but they took away what they like to do, sort of like what Bill Belichick did to Darren Waller on Sunday. But at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson had a few throws that I think he would want back, and I think his tight end, like, you have to play better. Like, Mark Andrews, 3 receptions on 8 targets. Like, bro, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And everybody knows Lamar Jackson's safe haven is the tight end. So if he can't rely on these guys, it's like whatever. But I think one of the other things that Lamar has to work on, in my opinion, he has some really good deep route dudes. That Marquise Brown, that dude is all, like, he's getting off the press and he's down the field. He's going to be their Tyreek Hill. And once Lamar starts lofting that ball and stop throwing bullet passes, this team is going to be business. Now, I'm not saying that they can't get better and then possibly give, the Kansas City Chiefs a run for their money in the playoffs. What I'm saying right now is Kansas City is the better team. Kansas City overall, because of their run game, that puts them over the edge. And now they have a defense. This is very, very scary because, like I said, usually it's not like that. If you go back and think about the Colts, when, Peyton Manning was just handling business over and over and over again, and they had no defense, and it was all scoring. If you gave Peyton Manning a defense back then, he would have a lot more rings than 2. But again, with this right here, the Chiefs look like they're ready to just take over for the Patriots. And I'm not counting the Patriots out. I just know that they can't deal with all the speed that's out there. They can't deal with all this run game. They can't deal with the fact that defensively they can out-scheme you now because they have the players to do so. So again, with the way that it's set up right here, Lamar Jackson, look, 83 yards on 9 carries is ridiculous. A 9.2 average, it's out of control for a quarterback to do that and then still, be able to have the ability to throw the ball, but they took away something from him. And then at the end of the day, he had throws that should have been caught. He had throws that he didn't make. But regardless of the situation, this is a primetime game, and Lamar Jackson has had issues performing well in primetime games. But again, the talent is there. And he's going to continue to get better. I'm just saying right now, Patrick Mahomes is unbelievable. It's not even, bro, it's not even a question, to even discuss. Lamar Jackson, you can see the potential. You can see what he's going to become once it clicks. When it clicks, it's over. Lamar Jackson, when that button goes off in his head, like, look, I'm the greatest, I'm going to see you guys later because he's going to be unbelievable. Throwing and running, GG's. But at this point right here, Patrick Mahomes, they handled their business. They dominated the Ravens. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love.